Hey, this is Gene Bleeker, and welcome to the Genius Thoughts episode. I like it. Genius Thoughts. You like that?
It sounds good to me.
I mean, Genius Thoughts. Genius. I like that a lot. You know, and you've never been on the show before, but my goal is to be the eyes, ears, and voice of business, real estate, and the community. And I met you. Was it last week for the very first time?
Yeah, last week.
And I thought you did such a great introduction about you and your business that I had to get you on the program.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so Christina Dronen. Never heard the name Dronen before. You got to help me with this one.
Yeah, so, I married into it. And my husband, he actually, his dad was adopted. So it's a name by adoption. And it comes from, the rumor is Dronia in Norway. And so yeah, Dronen. So
okay,
yeah.
I get it. So, you know, having the last name Bleeker, I'm sure the doctor kind of looked and said, it's looking bleaker every day. So I have to tell you, I'm excited about learning about, finally family homes. Never heard anything about your organization, so shame on me and not shame on you. But you got to tell me before we hear about this, I want to know as much about you as humanly possible. The who, what, where, when, how, and why.
Yeah. So I can kind of go back to our beginning. I actually, I was going to a church where they were focusing on the greatest needs in our greater LA area. And they talked about serving the homeless. And it was like, of course, everybody knows the homeless. So, we did some things. And then the next thing they brought up, they were like, okay, foster care. And I was like, foster care? Because you don't see kids walking around on the streets with a sign that says foster kid. It's not as noticeable and out there and evident as the homeless population who's on the street. And so when I heard about foster youth and the struggles they face, that we have the biggest foster care system in the nation right here in LA County, and that includes Santa Clarita, I was shocked, and then even more shocked to hear that these kids leave foster care and become homeless. So I've heard stories of social workers who pick a kid up from their foster home on their 18th birthday and drive them to a homeless shelter. There's kids who literally get sent out the door with a bag of their clothes in a trash bag. About 20% will become homeless the day they age out, and that's a national statistic, and then another about 18% in the following 18 months. And I recently read an article that in California, it's closer to 50% are becoming homeless. And that doesn't count, none of that counts the couch surfers, the kids who are right on the brink of homelessness. I don't think living on someone's couch short term is really being housed.
I agree with that. I mean, talk about fulfilling. And, that's kind of like my word of the day.
Yes.
Because how fulfilling is that? So you're sitting there at church, you're hearing about this cause, and when did that light bulb go off?
Yeah, so I did immediately, mostly with the foster kids. Homelessness I cared about too. I'm like, man, we need to make a difference. This is just, it's not working. And this is all way pre-pandemic, way before it all got really bad. And then just hearing about foster youth, and I wasn't sure if I had it in me to be a foster parent, but it was hearing these 17-year-olds who, in some places they'll put them, create videos, and they say, please, I would just like someone to adopt me before it's too late. I really need a family, and I'm going to turn 18 soon. I'd like a home. I'm a great kid. And, my heart just broke. I was like, no.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
And you hear so many people, honestly, they say, well, I want a baby. And I don't know why, because I could not wait to get out of the diaper stage of life and sleepless nights. Unfortunately, it's true that less people take in teenagers, and for no fault of their own. One of the young ladies we were working with, her mom died of cancer, and she was by her side when she died. But she's a teenager, so she went right into a group home and she never really had a family that wanted to take her in because they don't want a teenager. So I felt that compassion for the underdog, that person who, nobody wanted to help, and such dire outcomes. And that age, that 18 to 24-year-old age, that's when people really rise up, right? They can go to college, they start to build a career, or if you become homeless during that age, you have a significantly higher chance of chronic homelessness. So it's just such a pivotal time for people that I just had that big heart for when they weren't selected, that they were the underdog, the overlooked one.
So is this your organization that you created personally?
Yeah, I founded it. So I was out there volunteering, and I felt like what I saw with a lot of the other programs and organizations and government support, it was so cold, I guess is a way to put it. You know, they're like, here's food, here's clothing, you got a place to stay, what else? And it's like, well, this is a human.
Right.
They need, you know, care and relationships.
Absolutely.
And to know that somebody cares about them. And this group home I was volunteering at, it was down in Hollywood, and it was for girls who were aging out. And, you know, they were so standoffish. And I was like, man, I wonder if we could, how do we get through? How do I break in and get them to start talking to me? And I saw when I came back over a period of time, you know, the staff would change over so quickly. And it turns out on average in group homes, staff turnover is 6 months. So, you know, people are hired. You never know who's going to be there. But the girls were still there, the young ladies who were placed in the foster home. So the staff changed more frequently than they did. And so I just thought, you know, I wonder if they felt really cared about, if that would make a difference. And around that time, my church had a mission trip going to Kyrgyzstan. And I felt like I should go. And this is, you know, post-communist. That country didn't exist when I was in high school. It was USSR. So it's post-communist, third world. They have legit orphanages, not just, you know, foster homes, like orphans there. And it turns out they were helping young women who were aging out of the orphanages. And those young women were significantly more hopeful. They were involved. They were volunteering. And I saw that hypothesis being reality there. These girls were so full of hope and all headed towards college. They spoke multiple languages and they were orphans. And I thought that needs to happen. That was the moment when I decided, all right, this is what we got to bring back here to the U.S. and do, and make sure that these young adults know that they're really cared for. And the other thing that I saw that I felt like was lacking out there is helping these young adults get up and out of their situation. So I met foster youth in their 30s and 40s who were still struggling, barely getting by, and they were smart people. They were, you know, really great community members, but they just never got that leg up that people who have a supportive family have. And so upward mobility was another really key thing that I wanted to integrate into whatever I did.
So what are the key things that you do every week with this program? I know you make a big difference. I know you're very fulfilling in what you do. Can you kind of give me a little bit more details about what goes on in the week in the life of you?
Yeah, very busy. I work a 6-day work week, unfortunately, right now, but hopefully it'll slow down soon. So we have 4 programs. The first is family care, and that is the first 2, family care and Life Launch, are for any foster youth 18 to 24. We have no other requirement. We don't expect them to have their lives together at all or anything. And so what we provide through that family care is where we care like a family would. So birthdays, graduations, Christmas. I get kids calling up, I'm at the gas station and I ran out of money and I need gas to get to work. You know, those things that like your 18-year-old might call you up and say, hey, Mom, Dad, you know, I had a young man call me up and say, I haven't eaten for 3 days. And I said, dude, why didn't you tell me sooner? Like 3 days ago or a week ago. But, you know, they're just like the rest of us. They don't want to ask for help. They're like, I'm going to figure it out. I can do this, you know. And so they wait till the very last minute or even past the last minute. And so we're there with food, clothing, help with gas, toiletries. Toiletries are huge. And so those kinds of things that you would have, you know.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm really glad that you and I have a good opportunity to chat today. We had another guest that was supposed to be on, but couldn't make it because he wasn't feeling well, and I pushed him back to a further episode. You know, but this gives me such a great insight about who you are, because I just didn't want to get you in and get you out, if that made sense, right? I really wanted to find out more about this. Because, you know, one of my biggest regrets in life, and I don't have many, but foster care was something I always thought about getting involved in. You know, it was something I've always talked to my wife about and saying, you know, we can make a difference. We can make a difference. You know, there's got to be something that we can do to make a difference. And I know you've got some really great things that are coming up, some charitable fundraising things that you're working on. Can you kind of share with me some of the things so we can hear about it?
Yeah. So one of the things we do to help build up our mobility besides providing life skills is we're teaching the young adults construction skills through building a tiny house on wheels. And the tiny homes on wheels actually can be legally parked in LA City zoned areas as an ADU. And the kids learn construction skills, and then they can contribute and actually get ownership. So that, levels the playing field, like I said, with as compared to young adults who have a supportive family. So our next fundraiser is a poker tournament and bingo night. It's May 20th at 5 p.m. We open up the doors. We also have the option for people from the community to just buy dinner and drinks and come hang out, check out the auction items, or watch people play poker. And all of it is going towards building our next tiny home on wheels.
Got it. So give me some more, the 411 on that one. Where's it at? What time?
Yeah. It's at 360 Executive Suites. It's in Stevenson Ranch. It's a new building that Fred Arnold just took ownership of and remodeled. It is Saturday, May 20th, 5 p.m. The poker tournament will start at 6. We have food and drinks. That's included in the ticket price. And you can get the tickets on our website at finallyfamilyhomes.org. There's a link right on the front page, or you can go look in our events section, look for the poker tournament.
Well, I know exactly where Fred's office is. It's right off the old road.
Yeah.
Right down there near Calgrove.
Correct. Yeah.
Got it. All right. There's another event I think you were kind of sharing with me that's going on as well.
Yeah. So part of that celebrating the success of the young adults, we're having a big graduation party. So anybody who's from foster care, who's still, interested in coming, we're having a high school and local college youth graduation party. And that is only open to foster youth and their guests. It's not open to the public. But that is June 1st. And you can go to our website again and go to Get Support and RSVP. Let us know if you are a graduating foster youth, that you plan to come, how many people are coming. We'll have food, presents. It's really exciting. Mike Garcia's office is putting together gifts for it.
Love that guy.
Supervisor Barger is, providing some certificates and support. And then also Assemblywoman Chiavo is supported. So we have a lot of support.
Got a great cast, right?
Yeah, a lot of people who are really, and we have a really cool rapper and producer who is a former foster youth. He's super successful, and he's coming to speak to them and cheer them on. His name is OG Suicide. And then we have other graduate student foster youth and, just inspirational speakers to encourage and build them up.
That is really, really wonderful. So can you give me your last thought of what you would like to accomplish in our talk today?
Yeah, I would just like to make sure people know who we are and what we're doing, that we are, our goal is to really elevate these young adults and make sure we support them walking side by side. So we don't say, we're here for a handout or a hand up, but a hand to hold. We partner with our young adults to help them achieve lasting success, and we want to give them dignity and support, and they really are full of potential. I think people, unfortunately, sometimes assume that maybe when you've been through hardship, you're a hard person, but so many of these young adults, they inspire me. They are, it is really, truly fulfilling to work with them and work alongside them and to watch them excel and be a part of championing their success.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. I think you did a really wonderful job about a hand to hold. I think that's going to be my takeaway today.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, it's fulfilling. That was what I wanted to accomplish, because I know you've done a great job with this. And I got to say thank you to my friend Mike Emerson, who kind of introduced us together. He's a wonderful human being and so good to our community, and he's so great at what he does. And, this program, it's about business. It's about real estate. But most importantly, it's about the community as well. So I just got to say thank you for doing such a great job. I know my viewers and listeners are going to absolutely love hearing your story and sharing it with people. And I wish you great success with your event.
Yes. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, you're so very welcome.
Thanks.
Cheers to you.
Thanks.
Tony Valdez, welcome to Genius Thoughts. I am so glad that you're here with me today. And I want you to know my word of the day is fulfilling. That is the word of the day. And I want to share some ideas and thoughts with you regarding that. But before I do that, I want to let the audience know a little bit more about you and your family. Do you mind giving us the Tony Valdez thought?
Absolutely, Gene. First of all, thank you for having me here. It's great to be here with you. Yes, fulfilling.
I love that word.
Yes, I mean, it means a lot personally, as a family man, as a professional here in the community. Fulfilling just has a lot of meaning behind that.
I think so too. And like I said, I've been reading a lot lately, like on the weekends, when I have time. And this guy just gave out such a great thought about fulfillment, and it just really kind of hit home with me. And I cannot wait to share with you later about my thoughts on that. And I'd love to get your insight as well. But before we do that, tell me a little bit about you and your family.
Yes, Gene. I'm married to my beautiful wife, Anna. We have two strong young boys, now 23 and 20. Can't believe I'm saying that, but yes, 23 and 20. One of them is the oldest, Nico, is finishing up at UC San Diego. We're awfully proud of him.
Great school.
Yes, and near to us, which is great. Our youngest, he's a little farther away, Benjamin. He is currently attending the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland.
Wow.
Yes, he's out there doing his craft and doing great things and getting ready to do big things.
How did he get involved in that?
Well, golf had a lot to do with that. Big golfer throughout his youth and high school, and then became aware that he could play Division I competitive golf at the U.S. Naval Academy, and beyond that, serve his country. So it all kind of meshed together for him, and it's something that he really grabbed onto.
I mean, talk about a great win-win. And I know you're very proud of your boys. You talk about them all the time, and I say cheers to you on that one. There's nothing better than having a great wife and a great family behind you.
Yes, and it's all due to the great mom behind that.
Exactly.
Dad had a small part, but
Oh,
yes.
no, I'm totally with you. Happy wife, happy life. I get that. I live that every day. My wife, Kelly, and I, we have a phenomenal marriage like you and Anna do, and I think that's great. But I do want to talk to you about PRMG. I know they're kind of new to the planet here in Santa Clarita. So can you give me the 411 on your insight about PRMG and your competitive edge? Because I know that's what a lot of people are talking about, your points of difference.
Yes, PRMG, we are a local and direct lender here in Santa Clarita. We're proud of the fact that we think very highly of our reputation, and we take great pride in what we do with delivering closings on time as we commit to, right? And but more than anything, we're a company that loves to do loans and think of our clients as long-term clients, not transactional. We're there for them for the long term.
So it's like, it's not just about doing one transaction for them. It's a lifelong period of doing great business with them today, tomorrow, the next day.
Absolutely. It's sharing with them the right strategy for their current situation now, as well as in the years to come. And beyond that, even for their kids.
I get that because, referrals are everything, especially when it's family. You're doing a great job. But my question of the day is, and if you don't mind, I wrote this down. What are some of the most important qualities to look for when choosing a lender? I know somebody asked me that question a couple weeks ago when I told them you were coming on the program, and they wanted me to ask you that question. So I said, absolutely, I would.
Yes. Well, to me, empathy. Empathy for the client that's across the desk from you, right? It's not just a loan. There's a family behind that. And myself, as well as my company, we take great pride in caring about the family and the service and the product that we're delivering. We want to make sure that we set them up for success from the get-go.
Got it. And, as part of this program, it's about business. It's about real estate, but it's really about the community. Is there anything you want to share with our listeners about your thoughts about PRMG and the community?
Yes.
I know it's not an easy question, but I definitely wanted to ask you that.
Yes. No, it's a great question. I think that to be in the community, you really to do business in the community, you really have to be in the community. And I think that we at PRMG are very involved with our community that we serve, that we do business with. So we're very much a part of the community, and I think that has a lot to do with who we are.
Well, and let's just talk about real estate. I mean, there's so many great real estate events that I always see you at, because it's all about you supporting the industry, learning, adapting, knowing what's going on, and kind of using it in everyday life with your business.
Oh, absolutely. And we love being a part of all your successful events. And again, it just speaks to us wanting to be involved in a part of especially successful events.
Well, thank you. So I want to switch over gears if we can, and thank you so much for sharing the information regarding PRMG and yourself. But let's talk about some of the newest listings that just hit our marketplace. Now, some of them are here in Santa Cruz, some of them are in the Antelope Valley and elsewhere. But I know we have a couple listings, and if you don't mind, I'd like to go over them with you, if that works for you.
Absolutely. Let's get started.
Sure. So our very first listing's by my very dear friend, Terry Vogelsang. Would you like to share that one?
Yes.
She wrote a lot of information, I know that.
I lost myself here.
You're allowed to lose yourself.
Yes, this is a beautiful manufactured home over at 19936 Canyon View Drive in Canyon Country. Beautiful area. It's a home that has great, gorgeous front. It's a gorgeous front view home with mountain views. This 3-bedroom, 2-bath manufactured home is located in the desirable Canyon View Estates gate-guarded community.
Right.
This home features vaulted ceilings and is a light and bright home. A large family with a kitchen with a dining area that has several windows to allow you to enjoy the beautiful mountain views.
Exactly. I mean, it's funny because when we asked Terry about this listing, when we saw it pop up, I kind of said, wow, she's got so much information. So one of the things that I did see is that there's a large center island, which she thinks is absolutely phenomenal. And it's great for entertaining or preparing for great meals, which I thought was really important. Was there anything else regarding this listing that you kind of saw?
Yeah, something that stood out is that she mentions that it's eligible for FHA financing, which allows a buyer to come in with as little as 3.5% down payment. I think this is great.
Oh, I do too. And one of the other comments she made about this home was the main bathroom was just recently remodeled, and she really kind of likes that. She thought it would be a great buyer's value.
Yes, this is a great find for a new family.
So I also read that she says that the home exterior was recently painted and there's a new water heater as well, which she thought that would be a great attribute to a buyer as well.
Yes, absolutely. I see here also that she mentions that there's RV parking available for the active families.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to share about this home before we move to the next one?
I think we covered it.
Okay, perfect. All right, so the next one's by a very dear friend of mine, Kathleen Bruno. And I know she wrote something about it. It was all about location, location, location.
Yeah, that grabbed my eyes as well, Gene. I mean, you can't go wrong with the headlines coming at you with location, location, location. It's a beautiful home here in the Bridgeport community. It's a beautiful 4-bedroom home. This stunning neighborhood home has gorgeous curb appeal. The front door leads you to a spacious home. Once you're inside, it has an inviting foyer. You can't help but notice the beautiful upgraded floors and arched doorways.
Absolutely. And, you know, one of the things that she mentioned to me when we talked is that the fireplace is a focal point of this home, and the family room overlooks a very lush, she uses the word lush, backyard.
She does.
Absolutely.
She does. And again, Bridgeport community, what
Gotta
a
love
find. It looks like an amazing piece of property.
And she also says in my notes that there's a large laundry room upstairs, which she thinks has great storage. And talking to my wife, Kelly, she says that's something that I would want in a home.
Yes, I think that's something that's important to all families.
Absolutely. So thank you, Kathleen Bruno. We elected yours as one of the top listings of the week. So we're going to move to my very dear friend, Pablo Mesa, who's got a great home that he wants to share with us.
Yes, Pablo Mesa has this home that is a great opportunity for a first-time buyer or perhaps an investor It's a home that has been meticulously maintained in his words, right? And it has great potential, right? It's got a great landscape front and backyard with many mature trees.
Absolutely. And, one of the key buzzwords that I'm hearing on my program is freeway close and commuter friendly. And I think that was something that Pablo really wanted me to convey to our audience about this home, how great location is with this property.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Another thing that kind of pops out is the fact that it's got copper repiping throughout the home and a newer sewer line to the street.
Absolutely. All right. So we're going to move from Pablo over to our friend Charlotte Gonzalez.
Charlotte, yes, this is a beautiful executive pool home that has paid for solar. Important when you have a home of that size, right? She talks about the community itself and it Shadow Acres, very beautiful community up in the AV. 2.5 acres, flat, usable land, room for all of your toys, horses, big and small animals.
It's so funny talking with, once again, Kelly. She was saying, she loves the idea about it having a walk-in pantry, that the center island has its own vegetable sink, which I've never seen before. Or if I have, I didn't know it was a vegetable sink. A breakfast bar in a dining kitchen, which I think is another great portion of the household. She also says it has a magnificent wraparound patio and custom in-ground pool and spa to swim up to the bar area.
Oh, wow.
Swim up quickly to the bar area,
Yes.
right?
Yes, no, this home offers a theater and a game room that could easily be converted into a mother-in-law quarters, right? It has direct access to the 5-car garage and to the outdoors. Sounds ideal for
Absolutely.
family.
And thank you, Charlotte, for letting us share this listing with our audience. And our next listing is by Estela Padilla. And I wrote down 3 things about this home that I really like, but I'd love for you to share with you your thoughts on it. It's okay.
Yes, this is a great opportunity once again for perhaps a first-time buyer, right? It's a condo located at 7137 Shoup Avenue in West Hills, beautiful area in West Hills. It's a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,169 square foot corner lot, right? I say corner lot with emphasis because it allows you to have views of the mountains from either of the 2 bedrooms, which I thought was key.
No, I do too. And, I'm a West Hills guy. That's where I grew up.
Oh, yeah.
I lived
Valley boy.
lived right near there. So my takeaway with this home is that you're right. It has 2 private patios. It's got an amazing mountain view, which I agree with, and that the crown molding is something she really wanted me to share with the audience, and I'm glad that she did.
Yes.
All right, so let's go to our very last listing, and I'm glad that this is our last one. It's done by my very wonderful friend, Mr. Danny Cassis.
Danny Cassis, yes. 4 things that Danny writes about this property: quiet, convenient, affordable, and turnkey, Gene.
And turnkey.
Turnkey.
Boy, was that a mouthful. All right. So it's got 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, townhome, one of the premier neighborhoods in Santa Clarita, built in 2018. This heavily upgraded home has been very well maintained. It's light and bright. It's turnkey, as you said, and ready for move-in. Attached is a 2-car garage and plenty of guest parking, a unique feature in this townhome community, which he really likes, is the guest parking. It's got a lot of home features in it, but you know what? Tony, going back to this house, he said it was quiet, it was peaceful, community, outstanding amenities, it was convenient, it was an award-winning schools, shopping for all nearby areas. He also said it was very affordable.
Yes.
He said it was aggressively priced with a low HOA, Homeowners Association, and Melrose, and he said it was absolutely turnkey and ready to move in with no work involved whatsoever.
Love it. Love it. And looking at the pictures, it's a must-see. It looks beautiful.
I love that. All right, so we went over our listings of the day. So I want to go with a whole new perspective. So last week last week was a crazy week. I went to 2 different networking meetings. Thank God there weren't networking meetings that I put together, but you go to a lot of networking meetings as well. I don't know why it bothers me, but it does. When I meet somebody for the first time and I'm trying to network, to shake hands, meet people, talk to them, have a better conversation, and people will just walk up to you and give you a flyer or a door hanger or something and ask you to hold on to it. And I'm going, this is not how I want to network, walking around with a bunch of papers in my hand, a bunch of flyers in my hand, meeting this guy for the very first time, and they're kind of stuffing stuff down your pocket. So I was at this one meeting, and that's all that happened. This guy, right out of the get-go, here's a flyer on my business, hold on to it. I'm going,
Gave you a flyer, huh?
well, yeah, and I didn't want to be disrespectful to him in any way, shape, or form, but I'm kind of saying to myself, this is not how I really want to network. I really wanted to have more of a conversation, find out more about this business, how he and I could work together. You ever run into that situation?
Well, that's the whole goal of networking events, right? Is to get to know, to connect with other local professionals, build a relationship. I don't want to hang onto a flyer that perhaps I'll see.
I've got 6 of these, right?
Yes.
6 of these that I'm walking around with, meeting people, and the last thing you want to do is be that person and just saying, well, I got to go store this somewhere. I got to go put it down because, when you're out there networking, you want to shake hands. You want to talk to people. You want to build rapport. You don't want to be a filing cabinet of flyers and papers that people are just giving you. And it happened to me, and it was so funny. When I got home from dinner that night, I was telling my family about what happened, and I said, that's such a rarity in the business. And then Friday, I'm at another networking event, and somebody else did this. They said, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. Here's my paperwork on what I do." And I'm going, oh my gosh.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. So when it comes to networking, I'd love to hear your thoughts on networking and what you think it takes to be a good networker in the community.
Networking to me is all about relationships, especially new relationships, or perhaps getting to know someone on a deeper level, right? Connecting with people, because people want to do business with like-minded individuals.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. But it was just so funny that people just think you have to give them a flyer or a business card or something like that without establishing a rapport whatsoever. I think rapport is everything. I think figuring out what they do, they knowing what you do, and how you can collaborate together if you can,
Yes, absolutely. Who doesn't want to do business with like-minded individuals?
Exactly.
Who eventually will become friends, right, on some level, right? So that's the way I view networking, is go make a new friend.
Right. Like I say, I don't think that either one of these people connected with me at all. They gave me a flyer and then it went to the next person, passed out a flyer, went to the next person, passed out a flyer. There's got to be more to it, So when we talk about this organization that I put together, Genius Thoughts, my Genius Thoughts of the day is build rapport. Forget about what you bring. Usually keep them in the car unless you really need it. But build rapport. That's got to be everything in business today, and find your connectivity.
That's a priority, in my opinion, of anyone that attends such events.
I
build
agree.
rapport.
I agree. And the other thing I wanted to talk to you about when we talk about fulfilling, somebody was just saying about, never say that you got to work hard. You don't have to work hard. They say working should be fulfilling. That's what it should be. It's not about hard work. It's about fulfilling. And fulfilling, in his opinion, is waking up and enjoying what you do every day. Enjoy what you do every day. And I think you are one of the key ingredients, that you have such a kind heart, that you're such a good person. You are a very fulfilling person, because I don't think you look at this as hard work. I think you look at this business as being a very fulfilling individual.
Yes, Gene, thank you. I do home loans for a living, but more than that, what I do is I help individuals. So for me, there's nothing that's more fulfilling than helping a new family into a home, seeing them or having them see a path that they didn't see on their own, right? So to me, that's not work, right? That's something that I enjoy doing, and it's very fulfilling, right? If I help them get what they want, I'm going to get what I want. But more than anything, I'm going to be fulfilled at the end of the day.
And it's all about, if you do your job right, it's all about enjoyment. It's all about doing a good deed. It's all about being nice. It's all about that whole criteria of just saying, you know what, I love my job. I love what I do, and I love making a difference.
Yes.
So, Tony Valdez, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being on the program. You did a great job today, and thank you for being my second guest host
I'm honored.
on Genius Thoughts. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Gene.